Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll go
Chris,
to questions.
What'd you think of your freshmen tonight? They went wire to wire on the mound. How'd you feel like they battled, especially Drangelo, working through those 6 innings he pitched?
I thought he was really good. He was his stuff was just okay. I think his command, he kind of came out of his bullpen a little, trying to find it. But I thought he really competed tonight and had to make some big pitches. He probably was tested a little more tonight than some of the other nights, and he wanted to go back out there in the 6. And it's good to see him want to take the ball in that moment as a young kid. And he's got a chance to be really special.
Hunter Hines getting some really good swings for you here as of late. What do you see maybe differently from him as of late?
His practices the last week have been really good. He's really good now. I know tonight he hit 2 balls down the line and he hit a jack, but in his BPs and stuff, he's really working the backside, the back gap, staying on balls better, and I think you're seeing that in the game just over the last week. He's just got a lot more competitive at bats.
It's been difficult for teams to really kind of square up and knock out Bradley and Drangelo both. I mean, they've dealt with some walks, but they just haven't been knocked around much. I mean, what have you seen from them in that regard, and how they've been able to just kind of corral themselves and work through some of those walks and those outings?
Between both of them, they have plus stuff. I mean, it's just some plus stuff. So you can, other guys, Evan Sierra there at the end, he'll give up a hit in inning, so you can't afford to have the walk in inning, but Evan's very good too. He'll get a lot of outs for you also. But with those two guys, it's just plus stuff. They got and they're really the walks are a little bit because they didn't walk guys ball, and they'll throw strikes. They're not like wild guys that we've had. I've had some guys like that before that really got to figure out mechanics. Theirs is just more handling the moments and staying focused out there.
When you have a 6-run lead like that, what's that do for y'all when you have Sierra just come in and just pound the strike zone for a few innings?
Well, it's huge because you don't have to use the rest of your bullpen. I think in our world right now, being able to hold guys for tomorrow. Tomorrow's games are going to be huge. I mean, they're going to be very competitive games out there. So I think being able to have our pretty much a full bullpen tomorrow will be huge for us.
So you're free baseball for the second straight game. You feel like that side of the ball's coming together?
I think so. I thought they were. It's a lot of fly balls. We knew that coming in. They hit a lot of fly balls in the air. So I hope I guess we did drop 2 of those. But I like the way we played defense tonight.
Speaking of full bullpen, any chance you get some guys back this weekend or maybe next week heading into SEC play? And if so, who may they be?
Well, I don't want to jinx that or anything else. I don't think you see it as much this weekend, but they're progressing in the right direction. So it's just hard to put a time frame on it.
Do you know yet what you're going to do game 2 as far as starting pitching?
We're going to start Landon Gartman and start today tomorrow.
Okay.
So he'll start, and then we don't know our game 3 yet. The second game tomorrow, we don't know.
Yeah, when you have a doubleheader like that, your opponent doesn't have that Saturday night to kind of prepare for Sunday and regroup. Do you think that maybe gives you an advantage?
I don't know. Doubleheaders are. I don't like doubleheaders. I don't think their coach like doubleheaders. Most coaches don't. So it's, you get into a routine of what you do. I think doubleheaders are cool here because Saturdays at the Dude, you can be out here a long time, and we've played well in doubleheaders. But the scouting part's hard. We already talked about it today about getting ready for their arms tomorrow, and they have some really good arms left to throw.
It seemed like that first time through the order today, I guess y'all were kind of struggling with their kind of change of pace with the mound, but y'all attacked in that 3rd inning. I guess what did you feel like your hitters did differently through that second time through the order?
I think they competed in and out of the strike zone, to get the walk, get the HBP, get even Ross Highfield's at bat. He lays off those 2 low changeups, for a young kid, bases loaded, big game, and then he got the good pitch to hit. I think that's the key. So you notice a lot of our big innings over the year have been started with a walk or an HBP or making somebody make a play, and then we get the big hit, which is what good offenses do.
According to a reliable source, you and Dunkelberger actually have a pre-existing relationship dating back to your time in Indiana. You talk a little bit about that, I guess, and kind of what you liked about him and what made him an attractive recruit for you.
I signed him like sophomore year of high school, I think. Him and actually the 3rd game starter, Braden Tucker, was Indiana guy for us too. And then they got Austin Kelly over there. So it's kind of like an old family reunion before the game. I went by and said hello to everybody, and a bunch of great kids. And Michael's, man, they got a really good pitching staff, and Michael's pitched really well for them. I know he's had a slow start to this season, but had a great season last year, and just a great kid. Just you see some of those guys, and you know, I had to leave. I can still remember I left those guys in summer school. You know, they were in Bloomington in summer school, and I have to tell them all I'm leaving. You know, which is really hard when you recruited kids for so long. And but they, you know, they found their way, and they're playing well now.
I know we discussed it some after Southern Miss, but Lane has his third multi-hit game, I think, of the year in the first 14. He had 3 hits all 14 games last year, I think. What's been the difference for him? We're seeing him kind of spray to all fields, and he's showing off some power. I mean, what do you think? What have you seen from him in the offseason and coming into the season?
One is just his body, just being stronger, faster. I mean, if you notice him running, but also him and Goat worked a long time on. He's made some swing changes, and if you notice, in the past he struggled away, and right now he's really good away, and just staying on the ball a little bit better. And then there's some confidence. You know, when you start getting some hits, you know, you start playing better. So I just think you're getting some confidence from him.